Most people will never become rich. This is a quiet and often unspoken truth. It is not a statement of judgment, but one of observation. It is not because the world is inherently unfair. It is not because opportunity is reserved for a select few. The reason is far more subtle, more intimate, closer to home. It is not a lack of money that holds people back. It is a lack of a certain way of thinking. Wealth is not a number in a bank account that one day appears. It is the end result of a long chain of quiet decisions, small habits, deeply held beliefs. The greatest barrier is not external, it is internal. It is the unseen wall built from our own thoughts. This barrier is invisible. It does not stand in the street like a physical obstacle. It lives inside our minds, whispering in the quiet moments of decision. And about the world, I am just not a money person. That kind of success isn't for people like me. It's better to be safe than sorry. These phrases are not just words. They are the bricks in the wall. Each one seems small, harmless, and even wise on its own. But when stacked together over a lifetime, they form an impenetrable fortress. That fortress keeps wealth out and keeps us safely inside what we already know, preventing us from ever exploring the vast territory beyond. Imagine a person staring through a window at a distant landscape. They can see the hills, the rivers, and the promise of something new. But the glass is thick. They believe the glass is unbreakable. They may press their hand against it, feel its cold, solid surface. Some look through a window and conclude the world outside is not for them. The tragedy is the belief the window cannot be opened. The mindset is the window, and for many it remains permanently closed. The journey toward wealth, then, is not financial but psychological. Before a dollar is ever earned, saved, or invested, a belief has already charted its course. The real work is managing the mind. Human beings are wired for safety. Our brains evolved to seek predictability and avoid uncertainty. This manifests as a preference for comfort, a stable job, a predictable career path, a routine that rarely changes. However, this deep-seated need for comfort often becomes an anchor. Significant growth, whether personal or financial, almost never happens within our comfort zone. It requires stepping into the unknown and embracing risk. A steady job offers safety but may limit upside. A predictable routine is calming but can preclude exploration. The very things that provide security can become a cage, limiting our potential. This common path is one of incremental, not exponential growth. The system is designed for stability, not significant wealth. We trade the potential for massive gains for the certainty of avoiding massive losses. This is a valid choice, but we must be honest that it is a choice. Fear is a powerful, primal motivator. In our financial lives, its voice is just as loud. We fear losing money, looking foolish, or failing. This fear of failure paralyzes action, convincing us it's safer to do nothing than to risk falling short. So we stand on the sidelines as opportunities pass by. It's the person with a great business idea who never writes the plan, the investor who dismisses a new asset as too risky without understanding it. These aren't conscious decisions to be poor. They are small, fear-based choices to avoid potential pain. Many live defensively to avoid potential loss or embarrassment. The true cost isn't one missed opportunity, but the compounding effect of all the opportunities never even considered. A life built on avoiding failure is a life of defensive moves. It's like a sports team that plays to not lose, rather than playing to win. They may not suffer a big defeat, but they will never achieve a great victory. This pattern becomes a habit, wiring the brain to see risk first and opportunity second. This belief ensures that what one has will never grow into what one could have had. Our brains are wired for immediate gratification. For our ancestors, finding a berry bush and eating the berries now was a far better survival strategy than saving them for a hypothetical future. This ancient programming remains deeply embedded in our modern minds. We are drawn to the quick win, the instant pleasure, the immediate reward. This is why it feels better to buy a new gadget today than to transfer that same amount of money into a retirement account that we cannot touch for 30 years. The pleasure of the present is tangible and certain, while the reward of the future is abstract and distant. This short-term focus creates a constant battle between our present self and our future self. The present self wants comfort, entertainment, satisfaction. The future self wants security, freedom, opportunity. In the moment of decision, the present self's voice is almost always louder. Wealth is built by consistently siding with your future self. Think of it as a daily vote. Every time you receive $1, you have a choice. You can cast a vote for your present self by spending it, or for your future self by saving it. One vote doesn't decide the election, but the candidate who wins the most votes over time ultimately takes office. Consistently casting votes for the future will build a life of freedom and choice. There is no immediate dopamine hit from transferring money to a savings account. The reward is so far in the future, the lure of the immediate almost always wins. But our actions are not random. They are the logical conclusion of the identity we've adopted for ourselves. The same is true for our financial lives. If you have an underlying belief that you are someone who is bad with money, your actions will consistently align with that identity. You will make impulsive purchases and avoid looking at your bank statements. This concept of identity is the root system from which all our habits grow. Trying to change a habit without changing the underlying identity is like trying to prune the leaves of a weed. It will inevitably grow back. The real work is not in changing the action, but in upgrading the identity. The goal is not just to save money. The goal is to become a saver. This identity is built through small daily proofs. Every time you save, you cast a vote for that new identity. After 100 times, it is simply who you are. Many of us have accepted a story about ourselves that isn't serving us. I'm not the kind of person who invests. But these are not facts, they are stories. And stories can be rewritten. Change begins with a moment of awareness. It's like noticing the first small crack in a wall you thought was solid. It is the quiet recognition of a limiting belief. For the first time, you don't just accept it as truth. A thought that is unconscious controls you. But once you see it, you gain power over it. A conscious thought can be questioned. Ask, is that really true? This simple question creates a small space. In that space, a new choice becomes possible. Next, take one impossibly small action. So small it feels trivial, so easy you cannot say no. If you believe, I'm terrible at saving, transfer $1 to your savings. The amount is not the point. The point is the action. A tiny piece of evidence that contradicts the old story. A small action, like a chisel against a crack, doesn't bring the wall down. It just makes the crack a tiny bit wider. The power is in the repetition. Doing it every week for a month, then for 6 months, starts to tell a new story. The story is no longer, I am terrible at saving. It is, I am someone who saves $1 every week. From this small solid foundation of a new truth, a new identity can be built. They are the quiet acts that no one else sees. Often boring. Each individual act is a single stone. By itself, it accomplishes little. The magic is not in any one stone, but in the slow stacking of them, day after day. At first, the progress is imperceptible. This is the point where most people give up. They fail to appreciate the power of compounding. The real reward is the long-term identity it cultivates. The key to making habits stick is to make them easy. Start with a version so simple you cannot fail. Want to start investing? Don't try to pick stocks. Just open an account, connect your bank, and set up a small automatic transfer. Each step is a small victory that builds momentum. You're building the identity of an investor, one tiny step at a time. The goal is to put your financial progress on autopilot, freeing up your mental energy for other things. Section 8. The New Blueprint. As your habits change, something deeper shifts. Your identity. You are no longer just acting different, you are becoming different. Small, repeated actions provide evidence for a new story. I'm bad with money becomes a year of consistent saving. This new identity becomes the blueprint for your decisions, making it easier to act in line with your long-term goals. Your present and future self stop fighting, they want the same thing. Ads stop being temptations and become data about marketing strategy. Envy fades when a friend buys a car replaced by quiet confidence in your plan. The world hasn't changed, your perception has. You're operating from a new internal blueprint. That blueprint is more valuable than any asset. Money is a byproduct. True wealth is the person you became. It is the discipline, the patience, the foresight, and the self-confidence. These assets can never be taken from you. They form the framework to navigate any financial situation. Building wealth is character formation, not just accumulation. The final prize is the transformation you underwent. Section 9. The first step on the path. The distance between the life you have and the life you want can feel vast and overwhelming. It's easy to feel paralyzed by the length of the journey, but you only have to take the first step. If you want different results, you must begin to think in a different way. The first step is not to create a complex budget. It is simply to notice. For the next 24 hours, pay attention to the language you use when you think about money. Write one belief down. Do not judge it, just see it. Acknowledge the thought. Then, choose one tiny action that contradicts that belief. If your thought is, "I don't have enough to save," find $1. Just one. Take that dollar and put it in a jar. You have just proven your limiting belief is not entirely true. This action's symbolic power is immense. It is the first vote cast for a new identity, a quiet, deliberate process of transformation. It is a story that you are writing every day with your thoughts and your choices. The question is not whether you have what it takes. The question is whether you are willing to start. Change your thinking, change your actions, change your life. Start today.